Welcome back to another video on Spectral Division. I hope you're all doing very well. It's been a while. I've returned to you all today to do what, honestly, if you didn't expect me to make a video on this at some point, then I feel like that's your loss for not realizing that. You can have that L. You can take it. Don't worry. It's fine. Take the L. But regardless, we're here today and we're going to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Good old Ubisoft recently released a new gameplay video on it. It's one of those like wee dev diary things that they do on most Assassin's Creed games or most games that they put out. Going over all the stuff like who the characters are and the world and how they differ. And so I thought it would be a good idea to go through it, to sort of go through some of my thoughts and opinions on the game. One of the first things they brought up when the trailer opens is you've got your Mano. I'll probably have him overlaid on screen here somewhere. But he goes on and talks about how they wanted to really nail the player fantasy, and what they decided was there was two main fantasies. You had the samurai and you had the shinobi, but they didn't want to dilute both of these fantasies. Even though Ghost of Tsushima literally just did exactly that when it came out, and it works great, so I don't know what they were thinking there. But also, why in your Assassin's Creed game, with assassin in the title, which obviously insinuates, being in the shadows, hey, being stealthy and all that there, why would you think to have your player fantasy focus on something like a samurai? Samurais are very honorable, very direct, very forthright. Obviously, as I say, Ghost did that, but that was the point of Ghost. It was the disillusion of being a samurai and slowly progressing down this path to being something more akin to a shinobi or an assassin, as it would be. So I'm really confused why they actually chose the two fantasies. I guess, if you're wanting to really capture the Japanese, what people expect from a Japanese game experience, you gotta either go with shinobi or samurai, and they were like, why not both? Why not both? Regardless, it looks incredibly silly because you now have two characters in the game, your two main protagonists, in Naoe and Yasuke, that both have completely different mechanics, which is actually, pretty good. If you're gonna do it, don't do like they did with Syndicate and just have the same character twice over with like free skills that make them unique between them.
Oh, what's this, Greenie? Assassin Christmas.
But also, again, is the fact of having your stealthy character and your big fighty burly man. Like, why do you need the big fighty burly man in Assassin's Creed? Like, I think Yasuke's a really cool character to explore in a video game. Why just make him just an alternative to the assassin character? I don't feel like it's indicatively beneficial to Assassin's Creed, and I don't think it's beneficial to the gameplay, because now you have to divide everything between these two very distinct play styles that they're going for. And Ubisoft aren't a small company. I'm sure they have the resources to pull it off if they actually cared about making good games, but they don't care about making good games, so I'd say a lot of this will be half cuts and basically give all the traversal stuff and the stealth stuff to this character, give all of the combat to this character, and just fucking hope for the best. That's all this is gonna be. I think instead of making one full character and focusing on it, the split between two is not gonna go in their favor here. But yeah, we'll start with Naoe. She was the first thing they went through in the trailer, and one of the first things they mentioned is they really wanted stealth to be core to the experience. Assassin's Creed having stealth at its core, I fucking hope so. Like, that's the point of Assassin's Creed. That was what the whole series has been built on. So they talk about Naoe a little bit. They show her blade, which it's just Connor's blade. Like, why just repeat a thing from the previous game? If they're gonna give her some unique hidden blade because she's Japanese assassin, there were so many tools they could have used from that era, and some of them are done here. You have like the hook on the chain. The hook chain has two parts, you see. It has the hook and the chain. But yeah, there's like a lot of other tools that maybe we'll see in the game, but I don't think that having her hidden blade just be Connor's hidden blade really works. I don't know what the mechanical benefit of having her blade go from shink to shink is gonna be, but I suppose we'll see. And then they go about this really big thing about having her have cool and spectacular parkour. And again, I have to be like, God, I fucking hope so, because Assassin's Creed was also built on the basis of parkour. But looking at the gameplay here, it's just the same thing as we've had in every other RPG game, except she does flips and shit. What it reminds me of is an unholy abomination between Watch Dogs 2's parkour system and using the RPG parkour system. And it reuses a lot of assets from that. I suppose we should have expected that because that's what they said this game was going to be. It's the big RPG game. It's going to build from that. Fair enough, but it's not cool and spectacular parkour. It's pressing the forward button and likely having to hold another button to do your flips. That's all it is. And they have this grappling hook mechanic that looks like what Syndicate's grappling mechanic should have been. But the actual parkour itself looks very, very sticky because you're using this Odyssey baseline, which basically just has you run straight, say animation, run straight, say animation. Obviously, it probably works similar for any of them, and they would probably need to make it really quick. But as far as I can see, going up mechanically seems to be using a lot of the rope and stuff to go about. You're not seeing a lot of like actual lateral traversal, I'm finding. But they have her jumping down and she does these big flips and she does a backwards leap of faith into a hay bale, so I suppose that's cool. But mechanically, I don't think this parkour is going to be good or gonna be cool. It's just going to be the Odyssey parkour system translated into this new game, and again, I don't know. This is all redundant points. Everybody has said this. Why am I making this? This is such a shit video, man. This is not. There was no point in this. I'll not lie. The final point I even have on that Yasuke, and literally it's here to here is all I have. Or not Yasuke, Naue. Sorry. It's 4 fucking lines. I got 4 lines. They're not even full sentences. It's just that she looks very generic looking. Her and Yasuke both. Actually, Yasuke I think looks cooler because he's wearing samurai armor. It looks cool at a baseline. But like, both of them just look so generic. And not like generic Assassin's Creed characters, they just look generic. And I think this has been a problem that they also had in Valhalla, where you didn't really have any assassin looking characters except from Hypham and Basim. They looked pretty cool. They had a little bit of sauce in the character designs. Same with Mirage, I guess, as well. Basim did look cool in that there. But now she's just wearing some grey robes. Doesn't have a peak in the hood, doesn't have any cool, nice, ornate looking sort of things like with other previous assassins. The color scheme obviously being that dark gray is very not similar to a lot of the other guys, and I think even where you had like Jacob and Evie had these really stylized version of like what they imagined a more modern Assassin's Creed robe or outfit would look like. I don't think they have anywhere near the same cohesion, and they have this new art that they released that has Naue and Yasuke at the center and all the other assassins around them. It just looks so silly because it really just shows how much sauce they have with the designs of every other character. And then you have Naue and Yasuke in the center, and the both of them just look like OCs to me. And then we have your big man, the big man himself, Big Yasuke, who again, he looks boring. It looks boring. A lot of what these things look like, it just looks boring. Nothing about it looks exciting, cool, or dynamic. It's just very sort of, God. They showed off a little bit of Yasuke's combat, I guess, by showing him he has a charged attack. So good job, Ubisoft. You found out how to do a charge attack. Great job, guys. But overall, the combat, especially in like the style, it looks like it's very much a mimicry of Ghost again. Very, very verbatim to that, like very similar to that there. So that's cool, I guess. But they do emphasize how much of a strong boy he is in the fact that he can smash through gates and can carry large pots. And when he does a leap of faith, he just tumbles on the ground like a fucking arsehole because he wears so much armor and he's so big and so heavy.
That hurt.
How dare you have both characters in an Assassin's Creed game do a leap of faith? But that's fine, you know, who cares? Who cares? That's all I had on Yasuke. That's literally it. And then they go into some other stuff about the game. So they have choices. Choices are back again. They've been in the last few Assassin's Creeds. I've always stood by that. I think the choices are very fucking stupid because you're meant to be reliving history. You shouldn't really have choice within the Animus. And I don't think it really lends itself to any like gameplay enhancement by having it. It's never really been implemented in a really good or nice way, as far as I can see. But it does facilitate the choice-based system of who do you want to go into each engagement as, and you can sort of pick the character between Naue and Yasuke. Which again is very fucking stupid, because if you're gonna have two characters that are so mechanically diverse, as they insinuate that they are, and that basically Naue is gonna be really not good in big combat situations, and then Yasuke is gonna be awful at all the stuff Naue's good at. It leaves you at this point where, especially with the structure of how they're doing it, where they have you go into a mission either as one character or you go in as the other character. There's no overlap between the two. But realistically, if you were going to do a dual protagonist system and have both of those characters be unique, have their own benefits and all that there, why are you just making it like you have full choice to play as either character in any situation? Because realistically, that's going to just lead to the levels having to be made in such an open way that they aren't going to hold any like actual like progressive benefit. They're all going to have to be very generic. You know, you need to be able to play this level as any level of Naue character. You have to play this level as any type of Yasuke character, and you know they have to account for so much within that, and having two vastly different playstyles, that I really don't see the missions actually being anything really interesting. It'll just be, do you want to stealth it, do you want to fight it? That's gonna be your choice, and that'll be it. Where if they were actually gonna do it in a good way, you would implement something similar to like how GTA 5 done its trio of protagonists, where you have missions where basically they all have their role to play. You can switch between them within their roles. Different sections require certain mandatory characters. But for like, if you're going to have an open infiltration black box mission, you could have both characters interact with each other in a really cool way. So, you know, playing as Naue, you're able to, you know, sneak into places, kill guards at gate posts that you can then open the door for Yasuke to be able to come in because he can't parkour up the walls. You could have, you know, be able to shout commands to either have Yasuke go distract, have Naue just quickly take out a guy in Yasuke's way, and have this really cool blending of both of them, and be able to openly switch between either. So if you need, you know, Naue to sneak around to do something for Yasuke while the Yasuke goes through, you could play as Naue, you know, going to complete that objective, or have Yasuke, you know, maybe fighting his way through, or, you know, socially getting himself through the level, because they've said about him being very strong and very smart, so he's probably going to be the more suave, talky one, and to be able to get out of things using the choice system. And using the choice system then to, you know, pick what he says in any scenario, and, you know, depending on what you pick, is whether it goes well, goes bad, and then you just have to react well to that. And then if Yasuke gets discovered and he's having to fight, now it can still be hidden, can work to complete the objective while Yasuke basically distracts everybody. And you gotta have this really cool blend of character mechanics within the same game, and with what they're doing, that's not going to be the case. So I don't see what the point is of having both characters. It goes back to that whole bit of like spreading themselves too thin. I don't think you're going to be able to make an effectively good game when you're having to try and balance between two vastly different playstyles that do not intersect or cannot be used conjointly to have a full experience. It feels like you're probably gonna feel like you have half an experience with one and half an experience with another, instead of having two very full experiences. To tie all this together, all of this here stuff, overall I'm not impressed with how Assassin's Creed Shadows is shaping up. It just looks like pure imitations of things we've gotten over the last couple of years, with nothing really unique to set it apart from those. I don't think it looks bad by any means, as in like objectively it doesn't look absolutely terrible, but it doesn't look good either. It doesn't look like a fun experience. It doesn't look like an experience that you would want to spend a lot of time in, because at the end of the day, it's just another Ubisoft cash grab that doesn't respect its audience and doesn't, you know, even respect people that work on the games. So yeah, will I play it? I suppose it's yet to be seen. I'm probably not, but I don't know. Sometimes the morbid curiosity gets the best of me, and so I play games, like I did with Mirage. We'll make a video on that someday, I promise. Thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, night, whatever it is. If you could let me know what you think about Assassin's Creed Shadows down in the comments, that would be much appreciated. If you could leave a like on the video, I would also really enjoy that. And if you want to subscribe for more videos like this, please do so. It really helps me out. Thanks, folks. Peace out.